Morning and thank you everyone for joining me today. I am Afsana Kamrul demonstrating a presentation featuring diabetes in French Polynesia and a key factor affecting this epidemic among that population. First, let's briefly look into current global condition of diabetes and prevalence in the chosen population. Diabetes is a complex group of metabolic disorder that affects the entire physiology of an individual. It's the fastest growing chronic disease worldwide and is one of the leading 10 global killers. According to latest statistics, 537 million adults are living with diabetes. 3 in 4 diabetic individuals live in low and middle income countries, and diabetes is responsible for 6.7 million deaths globally in 2021 alone. All the prevalence of type 2 diabetes mellitus, or commonly known as diabetes, is increasing across the whole globe. 37% of all diabetic individuals live in Western Pacific, and in 2021, French Polynesia had the highest prevalence of diabetes. Shockingly, 27% of the country's adult population has diabetes. If we look closely into the factors affecting the relatively higher prevalence of diabetes in the region of French Polynesia, there are several different ones which can be broadly classified into 4 groups: biological, genetic, environmental, and sociocultural. The key sociocultural factor shaping type 2 diabetes mellitus in Polynesia that I have identified is westernization of Polynesian culture since colonization. This factor further impacts obesity, which is the major risk factor of diabetes. Here I would like to mention that the main ethnic group of French Polynesia is unmixed Polynesian, which is 66.5% of the entire population of nearly 0.3 million. Westernization is relatively recent, don't reflect native Polynesian culture. It has made life less physically active, causing high prevalence of obesity. Diabetes was virtually non-existent before colonization, and physical features of Polynesians were incredibly healthy. As French explorer Louis de Bougainville described, "I never saw man better built. I thought I was transported into the Garden of Eden." John Macmillan Brown in his book highlights the origin of Polynesian people, providing evidence of defining pattern of habitual daily physical activity before colonization. He also provides reference of massive physical labor like constructing canoes manually from entire trees and epic canoe voyages from island to island. Now, if we look into the health transition of Polynesians due to westernization, the breakdown started when they depart from their native foods. Fresh fruits and vegetables, meat, fish, and native tubers are replaced with foods such as white flour, white sugar, sweetened beverage, syrups, and canned foods. This transition in health, mainly due to westernization, resulted into change in physical features and physiological. Once tall, lean, muscular population is now replaced with high and continuously increasing overweight and obesity, which is the major attributable factor of diabetes. Thus, change in food habits represent the long-term effects of westernization in the form of diabetes epidemic. Finally, if we explore the current trend of obesity among Polynesians, the trends due to westernization are disproportionately affecting the Polynesian children as well. A study shows that children of Pacific Island and Maori descendants have higher prevalence of both overweight and obesity compared to children of European descent. Modern westernization is identified as the primary causative factor, including excessive TV time, use of computer, laptops, and gaming devices. These trends of childhood obesity are contributors of diabetes among Polynesian teenagers and young adults, causing diabetes epidemic among this population. Evidently, the incidence of obesity has sharply increased due to westernization. That's all for today. Please check the reference slide for associated sources of information. Thank you for your time.